again. Okay. Right. We are now recording. So, this is what we're going to do. If you would like to ask a question, Jeff a moment ago showed you how to raise your hand. You can raise your hand now and we'll take some live questions in a couple of moments. And in the meantime, Josh, when people were registering for today's webinar, there was an option to ask questions. And we've got a few questions that have been typed in. So I'm just going to throw these at you, if that's okay with you.
Sure, that sounds fine, yep.
So let's start with one of the written in questions, which we've had a few questions based on this. So Jaden has asked, Josh, can you tell me the videos that Easy Video Player makes, how can those appear on Facebook? How does the configuration with Facebook work?
Sure, yeah, I can explain that, no problem. Within Easy Video Player, you have a few options for sharing your video. You can put a button below your video by literally ticking one box, and that button allows you to have underneath your video player a share button or a like button, which means that anybody watching your video can like that video and it will be then posted to their Facebook wall.
Josh, as you explain this, if you don't mind, forgive me for talking of you, I'm actually going to do this.
Sure, would you like to show it?
Yeah, as you say this. So I've logged into Easy Video Player, and as I say, I'm not going to go through how this works because we spent 3 hours in the last webinar doing that. But let me just choose one video here, for example, and one of the options here. Can you see my screen okay, Josh?
I can, yeah, so allow sharing of my video. That's the feature we're talking about. If you tick that to on, you'll notice that some buttons appear below the player, and you can see that in the preview just above at the top of Chris's screen right now. And you'll see there's a share button there. Anybody who clicks that share button will be sharing your video on their Facebook account, on their Facebook wall, which means anybody who follows them on Facebook will be able to see the title of your video, a small thumbnail of the video player, and a brief description of the video itself as well. There are other options as well for sharing. If you do create the basic page, which again, we won't describe exactly how to do that. We went through that on the last webinar. But if you create the basic page, which is, again, just an option, there is a big share button and Facebook comments below the video. Those are also shared on Facebook. So in that way, your videos are always going to be shared within Facebook.
And let me just add to that, Josh, because I use Easy Video Player for exactly this, Jade. And let me just show you what I did earlier today. I created a video using Easy Video Player, and I put the video on a web page, and then I linked that on Facebook. Let me quickly show you what I mean. Let me go to my membership site so you can actually see. And as I say, we went through how to do this in the last webinar, so we are intentionally going through this bit right now relatively quickly. But here's a video, or rather here's a page at my membership site that has got a video on it. Now you can see the video here. In fact, can I just quickly check, because I always like to check at the beginning of webinars that you can actually see what Josh and I are talking about and hear us okay. Maybe you'd just be so kind to let us know in the right-hand side. Thank you. Everyone's saying yes, they can. All good. Wonderful. So let's just recap. What we're looking at here is a video that I've created using Easy Video Player. And Easy Video Player, of course, as the name suggests, gives you the code easily to embed into a web page. That's what I've done. I've embedded it into a web page at my membership site. And here it is. And this is live. Then all I did is I went to Facebook. And let me show you. Let's go to Facebook right now. And let me quickly go to my wall at Facebook. And look, I did this earlier today. Get my highlighter. I wrote Chris Farrell. I didn't write Chris Farrell, rather. I wrote, I just added something that will help you here. And all I did was, in fact, I'll show you. Imagine I'm typing in a message here. So I wrote test, test, test. And then if you click on the link arrow here at Facebook, you get asked to put the address of where you want to link to. We want to link to this page. Let's go back to my page at my membership site. Let me just copy the address at the top here. Let's go back to Facebook. And if I paste that address in here and click attach, it takes a second to load. Then if I click share, it will get added to my wall. And then everyone, of course, in my news feed gets to see it. And this is really where the viral nature of Facebook is at work, because the traffic is extraordinary. In fact, Facebook is my #1 traffic source. Facebook gets me about 11,000 visitors a month at the moment, and it's all totally free traffic. Now, of course, it takes a bit of time to do this. Of course it does. But we said 1,000 times, you know, this is a business and there will be a bit of time. But 11,000 visitors a month for free using exactly this, I mean, would that help your business? Of course it would. So that's how to do it as well. I hope that helps just a little bit. But it's a great question, Jaden. But short answer, yes, you can easily use Facebook. Sorry, Josh, this is you. I'm meant to be grilling you, and I get so passionate about Easy Video Player and how easy it is to implement that I kind of jumped in using the Facebook thing there.
That's fine.
I beg your pardon. But yes, it can, Jaden, be used easily on Facebook, and it's great that you're thinking that. I'm going to throw to Jeff now. And Jeff, let's see if maybe you could see if we have anybody who'd like to come on live and speak to Josh Bartlett.
Yeah, Chris, we do, and I see that Mary has her hand up, and she had a great question. It's actually one that we got in. If she's going to ask what she typed in, we got it in. We got it, quite a bit last time. So let's see if we can get Mary here.
Yes,
Mary?
actually, I am the husband, Peter.
Oh, sorry. Who is this?
I'm Peter Migali.
Hello, Peter. It's very nice speaking with you.
Thank you so much. I really enjoyed the last week's seminar. And my question is that I already bought the Easy Video Player. I was really very much amazed of how much it used, so I didn't wait and I bought it. But at the time, I didn't know that I need to have an Amazon S3 account yet, so I migrated the program to my desktop. So how do I upgrade? That's question number one. And question number two, after I'm upgraded, how do I migrate the software to my Amazon account? And maybe number three, if I am stuck, I'm still paying the education or the training, then how would I access the support page? I think I forgot that.
Okay, no problem. Great questions, Peter. So, Josh, I'm going to throw to you. Let's start firstly with the Amazon S3 account. Peter's asking how does he, or in fact, Josh, maybe you could quickly explain the importance of Amazon S3 and how do we link EVP, Easy Video Player, with Amazon S3?
If I already had mine in my desktop, so then how do I migrate it back to the Amazon S3 account?
Sure, I can answer that. Nice to meet you, Peter, and thanks for the questions. And thank you very much for buying Easy Video Player as well. I really appreciate that. Let me try and answer all those questions for you. First of all, if you've downloaded the product but you haven't used it yet, there are actually two options for how you use Easy Video Player. The first option, when you go into the members area, will allow you to, and I don't know whether, Chris, you can show that on your screen whether you have a login to the members area. There are two options. The first one allows you to get started straight away. So if you're not very technically minded, or if you just want to get started immediately, then option one is definitely for you. It allows you to put your information in, click the button, which we'll see just in a second here.
Oops.
And there we go. Option one, casual light user, easiest option. You fill out the details and press the create button. You'll then need to wait roughly about 60 seconds or so as it creates everything for you, and then you can literally log in and start using Easy Video Player straight away. You'll notice that there are two fields there that ask you for Amazon details, which are Amazon S3 key and the secret key. That's basically like your username and password for your Amazon S3 account. And to sign up for Amazon, you can, I can give you the exact address that you sign up at, Chris, if maybe you want to go there so they can see the page.
Certainly.
It's HTTP and all the usual. aws.amazon.com/
Oops, is it a slash?
Yeah, there's a /S3 and then / and then that's it. And you'll see there's a yellow button on the right-hand side which says sign up for Amazon S3. You can simply sign up there. It will ask you for some details, your name, address. It will ask for billing information, but obviously the billing is based on how much you use. So if you haven't used it yet, or if you're just getting started, you're not going to be billed. There's no ongoing fees, no monthly fees. It's only the small price that they charge for the actual use of your video. So once you start getting started with video, you will be charged. And let me just explain why Amazon S3 is a great service to sign up for. Amazon S3, as you know, Amazon is a huge company. They're worldwide. They have a huge infrastructure of hundreds of servers and computers around the world. And so when you sign up for Amazon S3, they're giving you the ability to store your videos on their infrastructure, which means that effectively, no matter how many people come to watch your video, it's always going to play fast, it's always going to load effectively, it's always going to work regardless of how many people are watching the video, and it's always going to load fast. And I'm sure if you've ever watched online video and you've had to wait for it to load and wait for it to load and wait for it to load, that you will understand the importance of it loading relatively quickly. And Amazon S3 is the best service to allow you to make sure that that happens every time. So they literally, it costs pennies to get set up with them and start using them. It only ever gets more expensive than that if you're getting a huge amount of traffic. And of course, when you're having a huge amount of traffic, then it's well worth it. Otherwise, your videos might not load properly. So
and let's just address the costs, because I know some are thinking, cost.
Sure.
Amazon is insanely inexpensive. My first monthly hosting bill was something like 11 cents. And I thought it was a lot of people tell a similar story. You think it's a typo. You think there's something wrong, because they charge something like 14 cents per gigabyte. Now, if some on this webinar are not sure of sizes, let me just say that's a huge amount of space. It's extremely unlikely you're going to use anything like that. And even if you do, you're only going to be charged 14, or I think it might be 17 cents, literally 17 cents per month. It's insanely inexpensive. And so even if you have 20 or 30 or 40 videos, your actual hosting bill will probably be less than $1 a month for the privilege of using Amazon. I mean, it really is that cheap. We're not exaggerating, are we, Josh, to try and illustrate how cheap it is?
No, exactly, and people are surprised by that. And to give a good example, probably for the first 6 months I was really properly using video online. I had videos on many different sites, and I had a membership site which is based around a lot of video content. And even then, my bill, I think it rose from $2 to $9 or something for those 6 months. Obviously, it's incredibly cheap, and you will probably most likely be getting bills under $1 for quite a while until you really, really start using video. And that's what I always like to say as well. Like Chris said just now, and I know that you say this quite a bit, there is a bit of time you need to spend, because you're talking about creating real businesses here, and the goal obviously is to try and make some money and provide value to your customers. And if you are making money, having hundreds and thousands of people watch your videos and see that Amazon bill go up to maybe sort of $20 or so is actually a good problem to have, because it means you have a lot of traffic. So it's definitely not something to worry about.
You might be able to hear all our boys going absolutely crazy here. I beg your pardon. We've got 4 dogs and they're going insane.
Thank you so much for answering my question. And if I understand correctly, when I am at the Easy Video Player members area, I should just pretend as if I didn't have downloaded the program yet, and then use the option 1 and then migrate it to the Amazon, my Amazon account, correct?
Yes, Peter, I think that's probably the best option to start with. Yeah, most definitely.
Thank you so much.
And I just quickly to address another question I wanted to address. You asked about the monthly fee. I'm not sure whether you meant how do I cancel that or how do I access the members area.
How do I access the benefit of this monthly fee?
Inside,
utilizing the training.
Can you just scroll up, please, Chris, on your screen? If you see the big banner that's there that says click here in red text to access the Elite Marketing Foundation membership site content now.
Okay.
Click that. That will take you over there, and you can access all of the training content.
And are you updating the training content time to time?
It's updated monthly, most definitely, and usually every week or every other week we're adding content in there.
Thank you so much, and I really appreciate it. I think this is a very, very good software, so I am appreciative. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Pleasure to speak to you.
Bye-bye.
Peter, very real pleasure speaking with you. And Peter addresses a great question that many ask. The very first time you use Easy Video Player, you do need to create your Amazon account first. And Josh, of course, goes through how to do this. I just, as you may have seen while Peter was speaking, I put up a video at my membership site that you can also access for free. I'll show you where it is, actually, if you go to Chris Farrell membership. And if you scroll down a little bit, below the Facebook comments, there's lots of latest videos. One of them here says, it's a little bit hidden, but you can see it. It says creating an Amazon S3 account. Again, you don't have to be a member. I'm not trying to sell you anything here. You can click on that, and it will show you how to create your Amazon account. So let's just recap. You need to create an Amazon account, and then once that's created, it takes 2 minutes. It's just some details. You will then get given, what Josh was explaining a moment ago, you will get given, as soon as your account is created, an Amazon S3 access key and an Amazon S3 secret key. And you need both of those to then plug into Easy Video Player, so you're linking Easy Video Player with Amazon. Again, the first time you do it, you know, a few little things, but it only needs to be done once, and then everything just runs seamlessly. Jeff, let me hand back to you, and let's take another question.
Just before you do, could I just highlight something here as well, if that's all right?
Of course, please.
You'll see in the screen in front of you at the moment, option 1, which is what we just covered there. If you can just scroll down, Chris, you can see there's a big red OR, and then we have option 2. Now, I don't want to confuse people, so if you're not technical, you probably don't want to be doing this initially. But, you know, if you do want to tackle this option, then we're here to help you as well. Our support team can help you with it. But we do get a lot of questions where people say, do I have to use Amazon S3? And if you select option 2, the answer to that question is no, you don't have to use Amazon S3. We recommend it. I know I personally very strongly recommend using it, and I know Chris will agree with me and recommend it as well. But if you don't want to use it, you want to use your own hosting to store your videos, you can go with option 2. Now, you do need to install Easy Video Player to use option 2, and there are videos that you can see just at the bottom of the screen that will talk you through how to install it. And again, we have a support team that will help you. But if you're comfortable with doing that, then you will be able to take that option as well. And what I usually say to people, if you're not sure, go with option 1, start using Easy Video Player, and in the meantime, try and tackle option 2, watch the videos, get in contact with our support team, and you can set it up that way as well if you want to host your videos yourself.
Josh, on that note, can you use YouTube to host videos?
The Easy Video Player version 2.1, which is the latest version, which is out now in the members area. So anybody who's listening to this who has it, who haven't upgraded recently, you can log in and get your latest copy of Easy Video Player 2 if you are hosting it yourself. That has the option for you to just paste a URL, a link to a page or to a video inside of Easy Video Player, press a button, and it will then take that video and store it inside Easy Video Player. So you can use all the Easy Video Player settings with any video, whether that video is on YouTube or anywhere else. Now, the side point to that is people often ask, can I do all of the things that Easy Video Player do with my videos on YouTube? So can I have the buy now buttons and the opt-in forms inside my videos while they're actually on YouTube? And the answer to that is unfortunately not, because YouTube don't allow us to manipulate video in any way. It's something that they don't allow you to do, so it's a limitation of YouTube, unfortunately. But if you want to use your videos which are already on YouTube with Easy Video Player, so you get all of the cool features inside Easy Video Player, then yes, that's very easy to do.
Josh, I have to say as well, you've done it so well, because I've been drawing a little picture of you as you've been giving that answer, and you weren't. I was trying to throw you a little bit, and you weren't phased. So forgive my unprofessionalism, everyone. But Josh is such a great guy, and we've been getting lots of questions while you've been saying, give him a hair, give him a hat, give him a pipe. So there we go. So forgive me.
I was going to say that looks exactly like me. That's a very artistic skill, you know.
Sorry, everyone. I was just adding a little bit of, comic. But, I beg your pardon.
Chris, Bob said not to give up your day job.
These are great questions. So let's continue. Jeff, do we have anyone that would like to speak to Josh Bartlett's creator of Easy Video Player with another question?
We sure do, Chris. We have several, but maybe I could say something first, just in a different way. It's what you were both just saying, but sometimes I get the sense that maybe we need a little more clarification. That Easy Video Player is something that needs to run on a server. It needs to run on a web hosting server. And your choices, like you were just showing on the screen, is you can install it to your own server if you want to. If you have a hosting account, you can install it to your own server, or much easier is Josh will host it for you. That's what the option 1 is. So you're getting an installation of Easy Video Player on a server either way. It's just with Josh setting it up for you on his servers, it makes it much easier if you don't want to deal with an installation. So Easy Video Player is hosted on a server, so it doesn't matter whether you have a Mac or PC or Linux or whatever, as long as you have a web browser and an internet connection. And then the other thing is the video has to be hosted on a server so that people can see it. And you can host that on your own server if you want to. An Easy Video Player lets you do that easily. But there are benefits to using Amazon S3 to host your videos instead. An Easy Video Player kind of serves, I've described it as serving as a bridge. You create your videos on your PC and you edit them on your PC. You need to get them up to a server and you need to show them on web pages. An Easy Video Player is like a bridge that helps you do that. So hopefully that'll clarify some of the questions that come in.
Yes, that's a great description, actually.
Okay.
And I know I often say this. I know the first time you use anything new, it can be a little bit confusing. But just to kind of reiterate Jeff's point, Easy Video Player, you just install it once somewhere, either on your hosting. When you purchase a domain name, you get hosting as well, either on that hosting account. That's one option, or Josh will host it for you. But it has to be hosted somewhere, as Jeff has said. Once you've done that, you've done that. That's it. You don't ever need to change that. And that process is what we're looking at right now on my computer screen, which is what you see after you purchase Easy Video Player. And you do it once. Then once that's done, then it's kind of the fun part, actually putting videos on web pages, making them look pretty, putting them in Facebook, as we saw a moment ago.
And can I just quickly say as well that leads to another question that people might want to ask, or I know we have been asked before, is you're right, it only needs to be installed once. And from that one installation, whether we've done it for you or you do it yourself, you can use Easy Video Player on every single one of your websites that you have. You don't have to keep installing it on each different website you own. You just do that process once, whether we're installing for you or you install on your own hosting, and you can then use it for all of your videos on all of your websites from that one installation of Easy Video Player.
Josh, that nicely brings me on to a question that we got typed in a few times. Tom particularly has flagged this up. Tom Walden. Hello, Tom. He says, how much coding do I need to understand to be able to use Easy Video Player?
A good question, and thanks for that, Tom. And the answer is, if you go with option 1, 0 code. That's one of the main reasons why I started the journey of creating this product. There is some code, but all you need to do is copy the code that it gives you after you've created all your settings. So you're looking at the settings page at the moment. You'll upload your video from your computer to Easy Video Player. You'll then be given all these options of changing the way your video looks and acts, and whether you want it to be shared with the share buttons and all those kind of things. Once you've done that, you hit save. I don't know if you can just do that, Chris. And you'll be taken to a page which basically gives you a small piece of code which you can literally just copy. It gives you the preview of the video there and your player and everything you've set up so you can see it. And you literally just copy that code and paste it onto your website wherever you want that video player to appear with your video. So It's literally just a case of copying that code and pasting it. You never have to write any code ever.
And that's such a powerful thing, because I'm not a coder at all, really. And this if you can copy and paste, you can use this. And I use this all the time. Every day I'll make a little video about something, think, oh, that's interesting, and make a quick little video. I'll get the code as Josh is showing you, and then I'll paste that into a web page. Then I'll share it on Facebook or put it on a forum, and boom, there you go. That's how it goes viral, and that's how you start to get traffic. So the short answer is you don't really need to don't need to understand any code at all once you've created your video. Hence the beauty of the easiness, if there is such a word. Jeff.
Yeah, Josh, and just to clarify, that's something you started offering with EVP2, is that correct? The hosting?
Sorry.
Where you will host it, yes.
That's correct, yeah. Yeah. That's
okay,
right.
So someone would need to upgrade to EVP2 in order to do that, right?
That's right. And if anybody's actually watching this who has EVP1, if you log into your members area where you've had your training videos on how to use Easy Video Player 1 and where you download Easy Video Player 1, there's actually a offer in there which has a substantial discount on Easy Video Player 2 for you, so you can upgrade without having to go and pay the full price if you already own Easy Video Player 1. So just to let anybody know that, I'm not trying to sell it, but just so you know and don't go and spend the full price, you do have a discount that you can take advantage of in the members area.
And also that there's no charge for that hosting, is that correct, Josh, once they have EVP2?
That's correct.
Okay. Okay, those are a couple of questions that just came in. Okay, let's go back to the lines here, and let's see, we have Pat, who has been patiently holding. Hi, Pat.
Hello, how are you?
Hi.
Hello.
Hello, Pat. It's Chris here. How are you, sir?
Just fine, Chris. It's an honor to be talking to you, and
Oh, Pat,
I appreciate you guys' time.
Not at all, sir. Where are you, Pat?
Well, I'm trying to figure out what I've done wrong. I bought Josh's the EVP course, and I installed the EVP plugin into my WordPress. The icon shows up in the menu, but it doesn't seem to appear to be live. When I click on it, I can't bring up the box that shows in the training videos to paste my code in. So I don't know how I can view my video.
Can we see your web page, Pat? Is that online at the moment?
No, but I can put it online.
I'm just thinking. Let me hand you over to Josh. I'm just wondering whether it might make it easier for us to fix this for you if we can actually see the page and therefore see the error.
Okay.
Pat, you're through to Josh Bartlett.
Hi,
Hi, Josh.
Hi,
How are
Pat. It's a pleasure to meet you, and thank you very much for buying Easy Video Player. I appreciate it. And so I just want to confirm, when you click the icon that's in the toolbar for your WordPress plugin, you're saying that the window doesn't pop up to paste that code in?
Well, yeah, the little EVP icon shows up in the menu bar,
yeah.
But when I click on it, it doesn't, you know, in the training video how it shows a new window pops up, put your code
Yep.
into it.
Yep.
That doesn't work.
Okay, all right. Well, there's another option. The reason why we have that plugin is because with WordPress, where you're typing your code or where you're typing the content of your post on your WordPress blog, you have the two options, as you probably know. One option is the design view, and that allows you to just type text. You can make the text bold, you can underline the text, and do all the things you can normally do in, say, a Word editor like Microsoft Word. In the code view, the HTML view, it allows you to actually write code if you know how to write code, which would also be included in your post. If you switch to the code view, the HTML view, and just paste your EVP code directly into there and then hit save, that will work. The reason why we have the plugin is because of the way that WordPress works. If you switch between the code view and the design view, which is just two tabs, one says design and one says
Right.
HTML, if you switch between those two tabs after you've pasted our code, the code that you get from Easy Video Player, and copy and then paste, if you
Right.
then paste that in and then switch back to the design view, change something, switch back to the HTML view and code something, switch back again like people tend to do. If you do that, WordPress can take the code that you've pasted in from us and corrupt it a little bit, which will mean that your video won't work. So that plugin's designed to protect the code so that WordPress doesn't do that, and it will work all the time. But if you don't switch back and forth after you've pasted the code, if you just hit save and make sure that maybe it's the last thing you're doing, so you write your post and then at the end you paste your video code and then hit save, if you do that, it will still work, and then you know that's a temporary solution for you right now. In the meantime, the best thing really is if you contact my support team, because I think it might be out of the scope of the webinar because I can't see what's happening. If you contact support@easyvideoplayer.com, just explain the problem, say that you're on the webinar and you spoke to me, and they'll be happy to come back to you. We'll be back to you same day or the next day, and they'll probably have to have a look at exactly what your setup is and solve it for you, but we'll be more than happy to do that, and I'm sure we can get it solved for you within a day.
Well, that's interesting you mentioned that, because I did switch it from visual to HTML, and then when you do that, you know, there's a little, it says embedded on EVP video, and I clicked that, and then I embedded the code, switched back to visual, and it shows that little blue box that you guys show in the training video. It says your video will appear here.
Right.
But I tried to publish it, I've tried to preview it, and it still never shows.
Yeah, the key there is to make sure that the last thing you do is paste that code into your into the HTML view, that tab that you have. Make that the last thing you do, so don't switch to the design view or do anything else. Write your whole post, set everything up how you like, switch to the code view, and then paste that video code in, and then hit save, and that should work. If it doesn't appear, what we usually find is, it's very rare, but what can happen sometimes if you have other plugins for WordPress installed, etc., is that one's maybe conflicting with another, and that's causing it not to work, which is why I say it's probably best for you to speak to our support team. They're there, they work full-time. During working hours, they're available and they're happy to help, and they may well need to just have a quick look at your blog, and it might be something they can fix in 5 minutes, and they'll see, okay, well, maybe this plugin you're using over here is causing a problem, and they'll be able to tweak something and get it working for you straight away.
Okay, well, I'm just wondering whether maybe I did something wrong, because listening to this webinar, one of your listeners asked this question, and it's brought a point up to me. When I first bought it and I went to download, I thought I did step 1, but someplace I know I uploaded the video on Chris's membership site. You know, I have a hosting on his site. So I uploaded the EVP player on that. I'm wondering whether I'm goofing up someplace between doing that and this Amazon S3 thing, or what?
No, that will all probably very likely.
It's frustrating because I got that.
Sorry to interject there. There might be a bit of a delay.
That's okay.
I'm all the way over in New Zealand, but yeah, no, I think you've probably done that correctly. I can't tell without looking at it, but we usually find if the video is not playing in WordPress, then it's a very quick fix, and we can do it, you know, within a few minutes once we've actually had a look at it. So
okay.
I would say the best bet is just to speak to the support team, and they'll help you out. And of course, it should be working sort of pretty quick once they can see what's happening. But I don't think that will be the problem, because if you can get inside Easy Video Player and get that code, then that means you've probably got everything else set up right and it is installed correctly. So I think you're fine with that. You don't need to worry about that.
Okay.
I think it's just a case we probably need to look at how you've got WordPress set up. There might be something that's not quite standard in terms of a plugin that you've got, and we'll tweak it. We'll make it work for you, no problem.
Okay, well, I appreciate it so much.
No problem
Pat,
at all.
thank you ever so much, Pat. I'm slightly wary of time here, so what I'm going to do, Josh, is I'm going to be ruthless here with everyone. Actually, sorry, that wasn't aimed at Josh. With everyone, let's try and get our questions and answers, if we can, 2 minutes or less, just because I like to get through as many as possible.
Could I just quickly say as well also, if anybody else has something similar that they were going to ask a question for that is that kind of problem, because we're on a webinar and we can't see your screen and you can't share screenshots with us, or we can't go into your system, I'm more than happy to speak to you and help and see what I can do. But I know we are, you know, we're conscious of everybody's time, so it's probably the best option is to just shoot a quick email off to support@easyvideoplayer.com, because those guys, they're trained in this. They're happy to help. They come back to you straight away, and they'll be able to actually have a look at your actual setup and your unique way of what you've been doing and be able to tweak it for you. So those kind of questions, it's probably best to aim at the support team. I'm not trying to pass that off at all, but it's just that we won't be able to really see what you're seeing on this webinar. But any other questions like that would probably be better to go to them, and we'll be happy to help you out.
Jeff.
Okay, very good. Next up is Marcia. Hi, Marcia.
Hello.
Hello, Marcia. It's Chris
Hello.
here. Nice to hear you.
Chris.
Where are you, Marcia?
St. Petersburg, Florida.
Oh, beautiful. And Marcia, you're through to Josh Bartlett.
Thank you.
Hello,
Hi,
Marcia.
Josh.
Pleasure to meet you.
Likewise, likewise. I actually have two questions. The first one is, if I've recorded a video and I've stored it in Amazon S3 and it's uploaded into Easy Video Player, but now I want to change the settings. Maybe in one place I'm going to put it, the video can be a larger size, or I want to share with Facebook, but in another place I'm going to put the video. I don't want to do that. So I'm taking the same video, but I'm using different settings. Is the best way or the only way to do that is to go back into S3, make a copy of that same video, save it under another name, and then let it upload again to Video Player?
That's an absolutely great question. I'm really glad you asked that question, and I'll be happy to answer that for you. Chris, could you bring up your Easy Video Player
Of course.
again, please?
Of course. Here we go. So I'll just go into... Tell me which page you want in particular, Josh.
Perfect. Let's go to the settings page of any video. It can be this one if you like.
Okay.
Great. Okay. And what you'll see at the top here, can you see where it says select a skin, everybody? And it says the file name, and then you have a drop-down box which says profile and default. If you just drop that down, let's see if you've got anything there, you can see it says create a new profile. If you just want to hit that, it'll ask you for a profile. Just name that anything you like, Chris. Hit OK. Now that creates a new profile for that video, and profiles basically do exactly what you just were mentioning there. So now we have a profile called test. You can set up all the settings you want for that video, hit save, and you'll get the code that you can copy and paste, and then you can come back into the same video, create a new profile, change all the settings again, and go and get some new code and copy and paste. And that way you don't have to upload the video more than once. You can literally create unlimited profiles for each video. So just to explain that again in case anybody didn't quite get it, each video you're able to create multiple profiles, and to do that you come into the settings page, and you can see just there next above the skins where you select what player you want to use for your video, there is a drop-down box which shows you what profile you currently have active, and you can create as many profiles as you want. As soon as you create a profile, any of the settings that you select from then on are applied to that profile. So at the moment we have the test profile. If I go and make that video 600 pixels wide and I tick all the sharing buttons and I want the video to autoplay, I can hit save, I can get that code and paste it somewhere. But if I come back to the same video and create a new profile, I can turn autoplay off, I can turn the sharing features off, I can change the size of the video and hit save, and I'll get different code for that profile. So that answers your question, and it does solve the problem of having to, otherwise you'd have to upload the video each time you wanted to change things like that. Does that?
Oh yeah,
does
that's
that
what
make
I've
sense?
done so far, which is a little bit tedious, and I knew there had to be a simpler way to do it, and this is great. This will make it much, much easier now.
Great.
Master, that is a brilliant question. I actually didn't know that, Josh. That's really good. I've learned something there. Every time I've done it, I've done the same. I haven't uploaded, but I've come back in and gone through the settings, then got the code, then embedded that, then did it again. So that's terrific that you have this profile
it saves
feature.
so much time.
Yeah, wonderful.
My other question has to do with the monthly service that you offer that we can continue to participate in. Can I just ask, I have signed up for that. It says you do need to register, but I just keep getting the feeling I'm not at the right place. what should I be seeing once I've registered there? Are there videos back there? Is there post? Doesn't appear that the categories tab is active, or so I'm just not sure. And there's another section where it looks like you can put your profile and stuff, but it says this is coming soon. So I'm just not sure if I've done something right.
Yeah, that sounds like you're in the wrong place. Again, what you need to do is click that big banner that you can see that's being shown now. If you click that, you may have to register and log in, but once you've logged in, you should see what resembles basically like a blog-style site, which would be full of content, and you will have videos. There's this is the site that you can see here. You can see one of the later. We have Robert Phillips from the Bill Glazer and Dan Kennedy Inner Circle, who's a very accomplished copywriter, talking about how to write copy that sells, so how to write in a way that helps sell your products, and that's one of the most recent things that we have in there that you can see on the left-hand side there. And all you do is you register, as you can see in front of you. Once you've registered, you should have access to all the content. If you don't register, then it is limited to what you're seeing there, and that's just designed to it's not publicly available to everybody. This area is for you guys only. So once registered, you should have full access, and it's full of, I think there's hundreds of articles in there. But if you're not seeing that once you've registered, again, it might be best to just either get in touch with myself on Facebook, or get in contact with my support team at support@easyvideoplayer.com, and they can make sure you're seeing the right stuff. But that's what you should be seeing. I hope
you know what I'm seeing once I register? I see this exact page, but the information in the middle is gone. Everything else around it is there, but nothing's active. So I'll just re-register again, and if that doesn't work, I'll contact support then.
Perfect. Yeah, I'm not sure what that is, but I haven't heard of that happening before, but I'm sure that's something we could help you out with really easily. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Thanks so much.
No, thank you. That was a great couple of questions. Nice
Marcia, great speaking with you. Just before we take another call on live, Josh, let me ask you quickly about iPhones and iPads and videos playing on mobile devices, and maybe you could quickly give me a 2-minute kind of your thoughts on that, and if you could address HTML5 and explain what that is as well, because some are asking about how to get a video to play on an iPad and an iPhone, if you would be so kind, Josh.
Sure. Can we switch back to answer that? Can we switch back to Easy Video Player?
Of course.
And thank you very much. And can we,
okay.
Perfect. And can we just hit the Upload tab at the top?
There we go.
Great. Okay. So getting your videos to work on mobile devices and HTML5 and all that kind of thing. Let me talk about that now and briefly explain it. The way in which videos are played back and handled online will differ depending on the device you are using. And what that basically means is if you are using a computer and you're using a web browser like you can see Chris is right now, the video is handled in a specific way to make sure it plays for you, all the technical stuff that happens in the background that we never need to worry about. Now, if you're on your iPhone, for example, and you want to watch the same video, it's handled in a different way. And of course, there's these big questions about things not working on iPhones and iPads and all that kind of thing. Well, you can see here, you're in the Upload section of Easy Video Player. There's actually the video there, preparing your videos for use online. And that's a step-by-step video. You can watch that, and it will show you how best to make sure your videos are the most compatible they can be. And obviously, if we're wanting to spend time with video and engage our users with video and benefit from video, we do want to make sure that the videos that we're using are the most compatible that they can be, so everybody can see them. So that's very worth watching and following the steps in that video, which is a simple video to watch. Now, if you do that, the quick answer is, if you follow the steps in that video and then upload your video files in Easy Video Player, Easy Video Player does everything else for you. And if anybody's on an iPad or an iPhone, the video will just play perfectly and it will work for them. It plays in the player on the iPhone, or it plays on the iPad as it normally would on any website that you're normally looking at. So that solves that problem. As long as you follow the instructions to make sure your videos are compatible, if you're using Easy Video Player, then those videos will play on mobile devices, no problem.
Josh, that was perfect. And this is kind of where the future is going. I'm seeing more and more of my emails opened on mobile devices, and a lot of videos, Flash particularly, won't play on iPads and iPhones. So again, it's thinking as a marketer, thinking where this business is going. And if you want to get your videos out to as many people as possible, it might well be worth you spending 20 minutes and watching this video that Josh has already prepared for us, explaining how that's actually not a problem with Easy Video Player. Jeff, let's see if there's any other questions to come online, and let's continue grilling Josh Bartlett.
Okay, Chris, next up is Davis, who has a question about EVP, I believe. Hi, Davis. Can you hear us?
I can. Thank you for taking my question. Hi, Chris. Hi, Josh.
Davis, you're a gentleman, so it's a pleasure. Nice to hear from you. Where are you, Davis? I always like to know where everyone is.
I'm in Middle Tennessee, rural Middle Tennessee.
We've spoken before, haven't we, Davis?
Yeah, the last
That's right.
the last webinar, I think.
I remember you, sir.
And I gushed about how I love your stuff, and I'll gush again if you'd like.
There's no need, but it's very kind of you, Davis.
No, I really appreciate what I'm learning. What is here? Let me ask Chris a quick question. I'm having some problems with Amazon S3. What's the best way to get an answer to a question there?
From that, probably the best way is to. Are you a member of my site, Davis?
I am, but no one will answer my questions on the Mac forum.
Ah, it's a Mac question. I'll tell you what. Would you be so kind to?
Chris, I think, therefore I Mac.
Very clever. I see what you did there. Maybe you'd be so kind. Ian Bass, who you possibly may know, is one of the new members of the team, who's actually sitting right next to me now. He's a Mac genius. I'm going to ask Ian. Ian, could we look out for a question from Davis on the forum, on the Mac forum today? Davis, if you'd be so kind to maybe ask that question again at the forum today, and we'll make sure we look out for that. That must have slipped through a crack. So
what's his name? Ian Bass?
Ian Bass, super chat.
Okay, I'll just put attention Ian Bass.
Perfect.
In the subject line.
Okay, we'll do that.
Okay, my Easy Video Player question is, when I watched the webinar about it a week or so ago, whenever that was, there was mention made that the software, I guess you call it software, in the cloud will produce these one-page web pages that Josh will host. And I was just wondering, how much creativity do we have available to make those web pages, look more than just plain vanilla?
Sure, I can answer that question for you. Nice to speak to you again. And the answer to that is we very much wanted to make sure that Easy Video Player solves your problems when it comes to using video online, because video is one of the most effective ways to engage people, create relationships, sell products, and get messages across. And so it really is a product which is focused on how to help you with video and solve those problems. We knew that a huge amount of people would love the idea of being able to just press a button and have a page where their video could be stored, especially when there's things like comments and everything else in there that we've added in. So we added that in because it was something that we thought would really help people when it came to sharing their video. Now, in terms of actual ability to change colors, change the page type and things like that, we do dial back on that to make sure we don't have too many options, because I'm sure you're all aware when you use a new piece of software, when you use a new product, it's always daunting going in and having a look at all the buttons and all the different options. And we want to make sure that we stay very focused and do the one thing that we do as best as we possibly can for you guys. So then that is to help you with your video problems and to help you get your video running in the best way it can and get it shared online so people actually see them. So that's what Easy Video Player's core goal is, if you like. And if we move too much into giving you the ability to create websites and web pages, then it becomes more complicated and you lose a bit of focus on the product. So we do have the basic page creation tools, and it takes literally a second, and you can create the basic page. You can have Facebook comments below like a blog. You can add buttons in, buy buttons, and everything that you need. And studies have shown, I've done a lot of tests on this in terms of how well videos engage people. And studies show that the less complicated the page is, the more attention the video is given, because obviously if we have a page with all sorts of bells and whistles and animations and colors and graphics going on, it all detracts from the key point, which is for what you want the people to do is watch that video and pay attention to the message you're trying to deliver. So it's designed specifically in the way that it is inside Easy Video Player, because that's one of the best designs that we found to create engagement with people that watch videos. So we almost did a bit of the legwork for you in terms of what works and what doesn't, and we gave you the thing that works best for us with the option of just creating it with one click.
Can you put a header on it?
You can, yes, you've got the option to have a title, and you can type that title, or you can add an image so that you can have an image where a header, if you like, at the top of that page. Yes.
Well, I understand what you're saying, and I appreciate the legwork you've done, but what options do we have besides the header?
Sure. Should we go and have a look at that, Chris, inside the Easy Video Player?
Sorry, Josh, I was just muted there. Yes, I was just looking for a page that I created in the last webinar, but I've actually taken it down. So,
do you want to just go into any file?
File. Okay, so we'll do this quickly. Let's go to a file now, and let's create a very quick page. So let me quickly change the settings. And as we scroll down, one of the options here is create a page. Do I want to create a page for this video? Yes, I do. Let's name this page test 1. I'm going to style it like a blog post. Let's see what that looks like in a second. Let's add an image to the top.
You can see there, just to stop, upload a header image, optional. That's the option that we were just talking about. You can choose a header image, and that will appear at the top of the site. Just looking up above that, you can see style my page like a blog post. That will give you the comments and the Facebook integration below the video. Above that, it says your URL will be, and it shows you the link to wherever your page is. And obviously you can name your page whatever you like. The title is optional. Now you can add a title which would just be text. If you didn't have a header image, you can create your title. And then you can see there's the ability to upload images below the video. Now the image can also have a link. So when you click the image, it takes you somewhere. Now that gives you the option to add any kind of buy buttons or more information buttons there and link to anything you like, whether it's a checkout or PayPal or a website or anything you like. Or you can just add images to better describe what you're doing, like icons or information relating to the video that you have. And the last option there is to enable Facebook integration, and that makes it easy to share that page on Facebook. So if anybody shares it, there will be a description of the video that you can write, and obviously the idea with these pages is that the more people that watch, they are engaged by your video, they're commenting below your video, and all of those comments are shared on Facebook. And if they hit the share button, that description that Chris is writing right now will be shared on Facebook. So that drives more traffic to the basic page to watch your video. And we actually did some tests with this and actually sent 4,000 extra people to a page just using Facebook, while we already had the page up. We did, and I want to just make this clear, we did email to my list, to my subscribers, about the page to tell them, hey, here is a new video. That sent people to that page, and with all the comments that they were making on that page and all the shares that they were hitting the share button and sharing it on their Facebook, if you add up all the people that came back to that page from Facebook, we had an extra, it was around 4,000 people view that page. And obviously not all of them watched the video, but a good percentage of them did. So that kind of shows you the power that you can generate just by Facebook, really, the viral nature of Facebook and people sharing what you're doing. So hopefully that shows you.
Let's just save this and let's look at the actual page itself. So I'm just going to look at the page that we just created.
Because this is another thing as well, I find, which I don't mind. I don't know if you mind me just quickly explaining this, Chris. But one thing I think is really important is the people that we are, we're all by nature probably, we tend to be inquisitive, we tend to like to tinker with things, we tend to try and understand everything. And that can actually be a bit of an enemy as well. It can be something where it takes us away from actually getting stuff done. So the reason why this is quite effective is it takes not very long for you to be able to create a page, get it online, share it with people, and you can do that literally in minutes, which is something which usually would take a lot longer. And the speed in which you can get your message out, start sharing it with people, and start getting comments and feedback is important. The quicker you can do that, the quicker you're going to learn, and the quicker also you're going to get results. So that was why we kind of tried to make it as quick as possible for people. Let's see if we can have a look at this page.
Thanks, Josh. Hey, Chris, when's the Module 3 on Facebook coming out?
So funny you asked that, Davis. I made a video only this morning announcing it's coming out later this month, and the reason it's taken a few weeks longer is because I'm actually testing and literally documenting all the traffic that I'm generating using Facebook, and that simply, it sounds like an excuse, that just takes a few weeks to come in. I hope to have it out in January, but it will be out in February. I don't know the exact date, but it definitely will be this month. I'm pretty much 3/4 of the way through it. So if you can give me a few more weeks, definitely will be this month.
Okay.
Thank you, Davis. And here's the page, by the way, that we just created just while we were talking. And I made this a link to Amazon, I think it was. If I open this, it will open.
Can I just talk people through this page from the top?
Yeah, please do.
Very quickly, Chris. So you'll see, if you scroll right to the top of the page, you can see it says create amazing videos. That's actually an image, and that would be where your header image goes, and that can be anything you want. Chris has just made it quite minimal, created a very nice font graphic there as a title. You could have an image, you could have it however you like. That's the header image. Below that is the title, which it allows you to type the title, and that appears just above your video. Then of course you have your video and your player with all the options that you select. And then below that, Chris uploaded an image and linked it. And if you click it, you'll see where it links to. And below that, you have the share button and the comments. Let's just see that link over to Amazon, I think it was, wasn't it? Yeah. And then below the button that the image that he uploaded and then linked to Amazon, you can see the share button, which shares the video on Facebook, and then the comments. And whenever anybody types a comment in the comment box, that's then shared on their Facebook profile as if they keep that tick box below checked.
In fact, let's do that. Let me post a comment here on this page. So I posted it, and now let's quickly go to Facebook. Let me just refresh, and you will now see, look at that, instantly. It's on my wall. This is how Josh got that extra 4,000 visitors, by doing this sort of thing. It's now on my wall, which means it goes to all my friends' news feeds, and I've got almost 5,000 friends, so instantly it's gone viral.
Hey, Chris and Josh,
Yes.
We had a question. Just to clarify, you being the person making the video, you don't have to have a Facebook account in order to put that on your sales page or opt-in page. Is that correct? Because it's actually done through the viewer's Facebook account if they're logged in.
That's right.
That's correct.
Right.
Okay.
It's their Facebook that is sharing that. But
so the person, the EVP2 customer doesn't have to have their own Facebook to do that necessarily.
You got it. Whoever's viewing that page, physically looking at it. Great question, Jeff. Whoever's looking at it, if they comment, that goes on their Facebook wall. And if that person doesn't happen to have a Facebook wall, then they'll get the option to create one with just a few clicks. But yeah, you're right. It's not the person that actually created the video. It doesn't matter really if they don't have a Facebook account, although I would recommend you have a Facebook account because it's just hugely powerful. Great.
Okay. Well, guys, it's top of the hour, a little past. How are we for time? We need to go?
There's so many questions. Such an interesting subject matter. Let's do this. Let's squeeze in a couple more questions, Josh, if that's okay, because I know Josh has got a few meetings this morning, Friday morning for him in New Zealand. So, Josh, if I could grab you maybe for just a few more moments, if that's possible.
Sure, that's fine. Yeah.
And Jeff, let's take a few more live questions.
Okay, very good. Next up is Elizabeth. Hi, Elizabeth.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi.
Is that Elizabeth?
Yes.
Hello, Elizabeth. It's Chris here. Nice to speak with you.
Hi, Chris. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you, young lady. Whereabouts are you, Elizabeth?
Washington, D.C.
Beautiful. Nice to hear from you, Mom. Nice to hear from you, Elizabeth. You're through to Josh. Have you a question for Josh?
Josh, I'm so surprised that I'm on.
You sound on great form.
I'm a newbie.
Hey, we're all newbies.
I cannot see my easy video player. I know that it was set up on a WordPress blog, but I don't have access to it.
Uh-huh.
I was writing here about what I was going to send to support in order to be able to get it straightened out so that I can make it work for me. I've already set up Amazon S3, but I can't see what I'm looking at now on the screen.
I'll tell you the problem we have, Elizabeth, here. The problem is some questions, it's a bit like, if you like, somebody saying, and forgive me for how this possibly may sound, it's, imagine I called a buddy of mine who is good with cars, and I say, my car isn't working. Unfortunately, it's such a vague question, it's very difficult for us to diagnose. You saying it isn't working. It could actually be anything from a little technical bug, human error, something. So I think, and forgive me, Josh, if you think otherwise, I think the easiest way, and I'm really not trying to pass the buck here, is we would need to see the site. One of the support team would need to actually take a look at it, because it could be really anything, and we could spend an hour just saying, is it this? Have you uploaded? Have you created your Amazon account? All those sort of things. I hope I don't sound like I'm trying to pass the buck here. I'm really not.
I understood that, and I was surprised that I came up with my question because I knew that I had to go to support, but you put me on the spot.
Because we wanted to speak with you.
I think Chris just wanted to speak with you.
That's all it was. We know Elizabeth doesn't have a question really. We just want to get her on air.
That's great. That's great.
But listen, when you email support, say that you spoke with Josh, and we'll gladly, obviously we'll gladly look at it. I just think it will save you time and us time if we can actually get a bit more specific, which the support team, that's why they exist, for that very reason.
I certainly will, and I certainly appreciate your help.
Not at all. Well, you're wonderful. It's very polite of you. It's our pleasure. And nice speaking with you, Elizabeth.
Great to have you on the call. Nice to meet you.
Thank you, Elizabeth.
Thank you, Jeff.
Next up.
Yes.
Yeah, we have some more here. Next up will be, let's see, Andrew. Hi, Andrew.
Hello, Jeff.
Hi, Andrew.
Hi, Andrew.
You're through, Andrew. How can we help you, sir?
Yes, I was just wondering, do you need any other software to run this with Amazon S3? Is there anything extra needed?
Can I just say, you have the most wonderful Welsh accent. I love Wales. It is Wales, isn't
Thank you, Chris.
Which part of Wales are you from?
Southwest.
Oh,
down by, Carmarthenshire.
Oh, beautiful, beautiful part of the world. Beautiful.
Is that quite close to Bristol? On the other
Yes,
side of the brick?
it would be.
Yeah. It's about an hour and a half away.
Yeah, I come from Bristol originally. That's where I was born. So.
Oh, I used to work up there.
It's a small world, Andrew.
Nice.
Yeah.
The answer to your question is no, you don't need any other software. If you had an Amazon S3 account and you're using Easy Video Player, then you don't need any other software. Easy Video Player takes care of uploading the files to Amazon and manages your Amazon account in the background. So there's nothing else you need to be able to do anything that you effectively will want to do with your videos.
That's nice. Thank you.
Yeah.
Simple question.
We like those simple questions, Andrew.
Okay,
nice
thank you very much.
You, Andrew. Very nice speaking with you. You're a gentleman.
Nice to meet you.
Andrew.
Josh,
Guys, a couple more?
Yes, let's squeeze in a few more, then I'm going to quickly throw, if Josh is okay, maybe we can mention your Facebook page as well, Josh, in case people want to connect with you there.
Sure.
Yeah, great
yes,
idea.
Let's squeeze in a couple more questions.
Okay. Next up, Terry, who's been waiting patiently for a long time. Hi, Terry.
Hi, Jeff.
Terry, sorry to keep you. It's Chris here. I beg your pardon.
No, not at all. I had a number of questions, but probably the key one, I'm trying to create a Facebook like page, and I have done so, but I'm trying to embed an easy video player into the extra tab that I've created for a welcome page, but it doesn't appear. But I've tried I've embedded it onto a test page and it works, and I've embedded it onto another website and it works, but it just won't seem to appear on the welcome tab. Yes.
What we're doing, Terry, now is I'm looking at, just so everyone knows, we're looking at a welcome tab, which is, if you like, a page on your Facebook fan page where you can send visitors the very first time they come to it. And Terry's saying that you want to get a video that you've created using Easy Video Player to appear, like I have here. I have a video.
That's right.
If you click on that, it will play, and you're having trouble doing that. Josh, you and I spoke about this before we went live today, so would you like to explain why this may be the case?
Sure, yeah. Do you just want to click play, Chris, and
of course.
show
So
what happens?
If I click play on my video, firstly, it needs to be, you need to click play again. So let me click play again.
Okay, now that's using just the Facebook, normal Facebook video feature, isn't it? Is that
yes, that's correct.
Right? Yeah, I recognise that. Okay, now the reason why you're probably having problems with adding it to that tab is because Facebook have some security features, and they keep upgrading this, which keeps us safe from, you know, spam and all the malicious stuff that we want to stay away from on Facebook, and anywhere for that matter. But they have some security features, and they actually, the code that Easy Video Player produces, which allows it to do all the things it can do and all the extra features and the share buttons and things like that, is just point blank not allowed now anymore with Facebook, because they don't allow any kind of code of that nature to try and safeguard its users, basically. And that's something that's not always been the case, but it is the case. Now, we are, as we speak, well, first of all, the workaround would be you could have an image like you just saw, like Chris's image, which when clicked, it would link you over to a basic page with your Easy Video Player basic page with your video and comments below it and everything else like we just saw. Or you could use the built-in video ability of Facebook. But for the future, we're working on a Facebook-friendly version of your video. So what that will mean is you won't be able to use all of the Easy Video Player features, and that's just something that Facebook have decided. It's not something that's a limitation of Easy Video Player so much as something that Facebook have said we are not going to allow these things. So you won't be able to use all of those features, but we are working on a Facebook-friendly version of your video. So automatically, whenever you upload a video, you will get a Facebook-friendly bit of code, which will just be below the normal code.
Wow.
You'll be able to click that and paste it straight into Facebook, and it will play and it will work.
Wow.
So
excellent.
That's coming. It's a free upgrade. And just as a side point, when we were on our last call, which might have been a week or so ago now, I was saying that there were some new features coming with the new version, including the ability to password protect your videos and that kind of thing. That's released now. So we do release our upgrades pretty quickly. So you should be able to see that quite soon.
But that is a terrific question, Terry, because this video that we're looking at now, this is not using Easy Video Player for that very reason. At the moment, it can't be.
I was going nuts all day today because I must have tried that about a dozen times. I just thought,
don't you
God.
find though
I thought this was for newbies.
I know, isn't it funny? Don't you find though it's fascinating because it's doing those things, and I can relate to that so much, Terry. It's doing those things that at the end of the day you think, okay, you know, was it Thomas Edison that said when he kept struggling to create the light bulb, I found 99 ways not to create it, and it's in these ways. I know it's corny that we actually learn things as we go along. And
Oh, it is. I've certainly practiced enough that it's well and truly embedded into my head.
see, and that alone is a skill that 99% of people would not have, because most people would have quit. And so all power to you. So
yeah. Could I just ask one quick
yes,
last one?
please.
On the settings page, could you just run me through what the video scaling options are and do?
Sure.
Let's go through that right now.
Just get to the page.
Here we are.
Okay. So we have the option to scale the video to fit the player. Now, what this really means is when you have, you've probably seen, the best example here is when you watch a movie on your TV screen and you're watching a DVD or something and you notice the black bars below and above your video. And that's because the aspect ratio, or the shape of the way that is filmed, is different to the shape or size of the screen on your TV. So there's always those bars there, and that will differ depending on the actual, it's called aspect ratio, but the size of the video format that you're watching. So video scaling that you can see there, scaling means it will try its best to make sure that the video that you have will fill up as much of the player as possible, because you might have all sorts of different kinds of settings. You might want the player to be 1,000 pixels by something and take up the whole screen, but you don't necessarily have a video that's that size. So scaling tries to scale it to match what size your video player is. Original will keep it to the original of your video, which is the best quality. It will just keep it, you know, however your video was recorded, whatever size it was when it was uploaded, that's how it will be displayed back. Fit will sounds the same thing, but what that means is even if the video is bigger, it will shrink it down to fit your player, and half size is obviously quite descriptive. So it's just down to how the video itself is controlled within the player as to whether it's filling the whole screen. Most of the time, you'll never need to worry about that. All you need to do is go in and let me give you a quick trick here that I do. If you can just scroll up, Chris, to where it shows you the size of the video, you've got the width and height over there. Obviously, make a note of what size your video is to begin with. So let's say it's 640 by 480. Can you just put 480 in the height there, Chris? Now, I'll use an example here. Let's say you're thinking, well, okay, where I want to paste this, the width of the page is not 640. The width of the page is 500. How do I get that so it looks right? Well, you know, you don't want to resize it and have your video squashed or stretched in a strange way. You want it to still look how it looked when you filmed it effectively. So if you just tick the box, Chris, next to that says preserve aspect ratio, just tick that. Now I'm going to change the width from 640 to 500 to fit our imaginary example here, and just keep an eye on what happens to the height. If you just do that and then just click out of it, Chris, click anywhere on the screen, you'll see that it automatically changes the height. There's some maths going on there. It preserves the ratio between the two numbers, which sounds a little complicated, but all it's done is it's gone, okay, well, it was 640 by 480. So I'm going to make sure it's just a smaller version of that in terms of width and height and how they relate to each other. So tick that box, choose what size you want the width to be. The height will automatically be changed to fit whatever size your video was. So when you go in there, start with the size of your video, whatever that was, and you can find that out before you upload it. Just have a look at the details of the file. So in our example, it was 640 by 480 in 640 wide by 480 high, and that's pixels. You would put that in, then tick the box, then change the width to whatever you think it should be on your site, and that will preserve it as best it can. It will scale it. It will all fit inside the video player. You shouldn't get black bars and all that kind of thing, and it will just look as nice as it possibly can look if you do it that way. I hope I explained that okay, because I know it's a bit complicated probably for some people listening in terms of aspect ratios and complicated sounding things, but it's just a nice little tip there in terms of how to make sure your video is looking okay.
No, that's great. Thank you very much, Josh.
You're welcome.
Terry, a real pleasure speaking with you. Josh, we're slightly up against it time-wise, and so what I'm going to ask is, if you don't mind, maybe we can give out the email address, and if you don't mind, I'm sort of putting you on the spot here, I apologize, maybe we can mention your Facebook address as well. People would like to connect with you there.
Yeah, would you like to, let's go to my Facebook page, shall we?
So I'm just going to Facebook and I'm typing in Josh Bartlett, and here he is.
That's me.
Here's the superhero, the super Jedi himself. There we go.
Okay, so that's me. So the address is actually facebook.com/Josh S. Bartlett. And that's Bartlett. So if you type that in, you'll find me. You can add me as a friend or send me a message, and I'll be happy to reply to you as quickly as I can.
E. Calvin, very kind of you, E. Calvin.
Thank you for that.
He's just posting live. I wonder whether we'll get any more comments while we're looking at Josh's page. You can post it live right now, and let's see. And if you want to contact the Easy Video Player support, how do we do that, Josh?
The best way to contact them is to send an email to support@easyvideoplayer.com. And I speak to my team very regularly. So, we keep in contact. I'm aware of, any problems that anybody's having. We make sure we help our customers as best we possibly can. So they'll be happy to help you out. And no question, honestly, no question is too simple to ask. No, there's no stupid questions. Just any questions you have, you can try either contact me on Facebook or send an email to support@easyvideoplayer.com, and we'll be more than happy to help out. And even if it doesn't relate directly to the software, if it's something to do with video and the complicated ways of converting video and that kind of thing, we're happy to help with that as well.
Thank you to Sadie, who's just made a comment as well. EVP is awesome. If you haven't got EVP, though, and we did say at the beginning, this is not a sales webinar by any means, but if you're interested in it, there's actually two ways you could purchase it. You can go to easyvideoplayer.com, and as I mentioned in the last webinar, I very, very rarely promote products. In fact, in 2 years of doing webinars, I've only promoted 2 products, Easy Video Player being one of them. But I do have an affiliate link. It was awkward saying this, but that's why we're here, isn't it? We're all building a business. And if you felt comfortable and you wanted to buy it through an affiliate link, you're more than welcome. In fact, I'll quickly show you. You might have seen this earlier. It's chrisfarrell.com/video. But you don't have to buy it through my link. You can go straight to easyvideoplayer.com if you're interested, and obviously you'd still be able to get the software. But I do use this. It is an amazing piece of kit. And what I'm most impressed about, Josh, is how you're one of these rare people. I know a lot of people kind of talk the talk, but I see every day on Facebook you helping out people with questions they have about not even Easy Video Player, just video marketing, and questions about internet marketing and home-based business and working from home. So, it's a pleasure for me working with you, and I'm looking forward to many more projects that we'll be doing together. And thank you for giving up an hour and a half of your time today, Josh.
Thank you, Chris. It's my pleasure. It's very nice of you to say that. And yeah, I'm happy to help anybody if they have anything they want to ask me. Then you know where to get me on Facebook. And it's been a pleasure being here and speaking to the people I spoke to. And thanks everybody for being here. And most of all, Chris, thanks for having me, because likewise, I think you do some absolutely great things and you help a huge amount of people. So it's an honor to be here.
And Jeff, thank you for fielding the questions. As I always see, I get a little kind of window here showing me the hundreds of questions that come in at razor sharp speeds. Razor sharp speeds? Does that make sense? Can speeds be razor sharp? Maybe they can't, but I think you know where that analogy was meant to go. Jeff, thank you ever so much.
Of course, glad to do it, Chris, and thank you, Josh.
Thank you.
Right, the recording of this will be available, and you will be getting an email about that in about an hour, but it's available for free at Chris Farrell membership. If you click on a link on the left-hand side that says recorded webinars, you'll be able to access this. It'll take about an hour or so until it's there. And that was all. Sorry we slightly overran. I always like to try and keep these relatively short, these webinars. It's quite fun doing it on a Thursday here in America, Friday early morning in Australia and New Zealand. Have a wonderful rest of the day, wherever you are in the world. Thank you for your time. On behalf of Jeff Hope and Josh Bartlett and myself, Chris Farrell, we wish you a good day and speak with you again very soon. Okay? This is Farrell signing out. Take care. Bye-bye.